There's no doubt the big moves in a renovation are impressive. The demolition, the design. But no one really shows the slow, incremental work that actually adds up to a beautiful result. And that's because it's boring and it can feel never ending. By nature, craftsmanship and quality cannot be rushed because when they are, something just feels off. In the slow renovation of my 1964 MCM home, I am determined to get it right. In Phase 1A, I painted my living room, hallway, and guest bedroom all the same white paint. But in Phase 1B, this part is all the finishing work on the baseboards and trim that will frame the wall. And this is where the difference really shows. Taking the time here is what separates an amateur DIY or a rush contractor job from something that actually looks refined and intentional. So this area here, I will be going over this all with caulking. But for this area, I could probably do, I'll do this with the filler. And here with the filler, I have to clean these on top. And then all here, it needs to be addressed. Even little things like that. So, yeah. You can see like how the clay constricts and then it kind of leaves a little divot there, which we don't want. Just going over those, the touch, a little bit here, previously filled. Take your time. It doesn't have to be perfect the first pass, and that perfection will actually be built up in layers. Ooh, too much. Renovations are not linear. With spackle, for example, it can shrink as it dries, which means you then have to sand it a little and then apply another layer, and then wait for that to dry and sand that one down. And remember, every time you sand, you need to wipe everything down. First with a lightly damp cloth, then dry cloth. Microfiber truly works the best for picking up all that fine dust. Okay, so I finished spackling any holes that were left in the baseboards from the nails. Really makes you realize how many nails you go through. Now I'm gonna take a break and do some meal prep because I need food. And then I'm gonna come back and do some caulking. Caulking is actually one of the most satisfying steps. It creates this seamless transition between the wall and the trim. Without it, you get small gaps, shadow lines, little things that will quietly make a space feel unfinished. With it, everything just connects. It's an underrated step, but it makes a big difference. I used to push through without taking breaks, just trying to get as much done as possible, and it has always led to burnout. Now I see things differently. Taking care of yourself, eating properly, resting will actually make the work better. You come back more focused, more patient, and more precise. And that makes this work all the more worth it. Sanding can feel endless, and it's messy, but it is the foundation for a smooth, consistent finish. Light will reflect off of that finish, and it will always reveal inconsistencies or highlight the beauty of a finish itself. Every designer and architect will tell you light is the most important element in a space. Capturing it, refracting it, letting it reflect around the space. It's not just for illumination, but for what it reveals. So I keep reminding myself when I sand, I'm preparing the surface to reflect light evenly. It's like a little mantra. There were moments I felt frustrated with how long everything was taking. And then I had this thought. Wait, this is what I've always wanted. I've dreamed of being an interior designer, of renovating my own home myself. And this, the dust, the sore shoulders, all of it, this is what that dream in reality actually looks like. I had such a strong wave of gratitude the moment I realized that. I really believe that sowing that gratitude and intentional mindset will translate into the energetic feeling of the space that you're actually creating. Perhaps renovating your own home isn't exactly your dream. It is, in fact, a means to an end. But chances are you have a desire to create something special in your home that is as intentional as the other areas of your life. Today I was not feeling well, but I sanded the spackle around the door frame and on the baseboards, and I decided I'm gonna leave that trim around the front door because the front door is going to be replaced in a couple of weeks, and we might have to like notch in new hinge holes and whatever, so I'm going to leave it for now. I am going to just tape off the baseboard so that tomorrow I can paint the baseboard. I wanted to paint the baseboard today, but I'm not feeling very good. So I'm just gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna set a watch timer for myself and make it fun. Fun. And I'm gonna set this for 15 minutes and see how much I get done, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm quite tired. But yeah. The prep work here is essential. It makes the painting process faster, cleaner, and it is far less frustrating. This is where precision really starts to show. Because crisp edges, consistent coverage, and the right finish, that is what gives a space that elevated, finished look. Back on it with the baseboards. We're in the final stretch. So these baseboards come primed. They were painted with 2 coats of this semi-gloss paint, and it's in the same color as the walls, called cotton. And they look a lot more white than the walls to me. That might be, well, I don't know why, to be honest. It's like, because it's a different finish, it tends to look a bit richer in color, but they look really rich to me. So the baseboards were installed by my boyfriend. I really didn't have too much to do with it, to be honest. He did a fantastic job. I plugged all the holes, sanded them. We've caulked the baseboards. So that's spackling, caulking, sanding, cleaning them all down. Now I'm ready to paint them. So wish me luck. I'm gonna go in with a brush to start. I don't really want brush marks on them, but this is gonna be a good first application. And then I will try with a small roller and we will see how that turns out, okay? It's still looking really white. Oh, we shall see what happens. Try to reserve judgment and just go with it. It's a fine line between that and stopping yourself from doing too much work. I will probably just do a coat of this and then reevaluate as needed. Real quick, here is a pro paintbrush tip. If you need to stop painting and pick it up the next day, wrap your paintbrush tightly in plastic wrap and unwrap it again the next day when you're ready to start. There is no cleanup needed in between. You can do the same with your roller, even your paint tray. Just really seal it so it's airtight. Okay, so I just did the second coat with the roller, and you can see, this is probably good because of the sunlight. Oh, I'll cast a shadow. But you can see here that now we're getting it We're getting the trim matching the wall a lot better now. And it's just going to be the sheen difference. So I was a little nervous about that, but it does look like those colors are starting to match closer. So that would be 4 coats of paint on top of the trim. Okay, I'm back and better than ever. I had a migraine for like 36 hours, but yesterday off camera, I decided to apply another coat of paint, which is actually the 4th coat of paint, onto the baseboards using a roller, a small roller. They look really good. They now match the wall color. Previously, they were like really white. I don't know why, just super, super white. Now they're actually the right shade of white. Oh yeah, so that happened yesterday off camera. And now I'm going to remove the green tape, the painter tape from the baseboards, and attempt to get the closet door painted tonight and hung tonight. I'm not sure if that will happen just because it's 6:28. We haven't eaten dinner yet, and we have to go feed my neighbor's cats because they're on vacation. So maybe I'll show you the kitties because they're really cute. But yeah, we're gonna try to get a lot done. And again, this is kind of just the reality of when you're doing your own home renovation and you're living in it and you're fitting it in bit by bit. So yeah, let's go check on the cats. I won't pretend I enjoy this part. I really don't. But I didn't come this far to come this far. Washing down the walls makes a noticeable difference. I used a magic eraser to address any troublesome spots, and overall, a very diluted soap solution. I recommend you test your soap solution on a small area of your wall first to ensure that the paint is color fast. You want to make sure that you create something to wash your walls that is compatible with your paint type. Always test a small area first, and when you're wiping down the walls, keep your cloth really well wrung out. It should just be a lightly damp cloth. You don't want water driplets running down the walls because those trails will actually show. The difference is subtle on camera, but in person, wow, the difference is very real. Even the air feels cleaner. After washing the walls, I let any dust settle before sweeping the floors. And then the most satisfying step, mopping. Always use the product recommended by the company that created your stain solution. I'm using Rubio Monocoat's cleaning solution because my stain is Rubio Monocoat. This is a more expensive product because it's highly concentrated. I believe it's like 50 milliliters to 50 to 100 milliliters per 10 liters of water. When I was purchasing the Rubio Monocoat stain, I ran into a woman who was purchasing the cleaning solution, and she raved about how excellent it was and how amazing her floors look years after having stained them. She said the bottle lasts for at least 2 years, so that's pretty awesome. Always use a cleaning product recommended by the company that created your stain. We do not want to take shortcuts here. Quality materials used properly, it all adds up. When everything comes together, smooth walls and a comfortable white paint, the clean lines, the crisp trim, it doesn't just look better, it feels better. It's more intentional, more complete. And the funny thing is, most people won't be able to say exactly why it looks good. But it's this. It is all of this. If you're starting to do those small steps, I'll leave you with this. Trust the process and hold on to that vision of your finished product. And I'll see you on the other side of that. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.